Some might think it's a bit early, but the Christmas lights are going up and holiday playlists are starting to ring from shopping malls. This time of year can be overwhelming, to say the least, for those with a long list of friends and family they want to shop for. Why, though? Here to offer some insight is UBC sociology professor Amy Hanser. Professor, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Your research looks into what you call sustainable consumerism. How can people factor that in when they want to give gifts?
So it's good to keep in mind that one of the reasons we give gifts is because it helps shore up our relationships with other people. So that's why it's so important. That's why we care about it. That's why you feel like you can't just skip it. And there's actually research that shows that people who are trying to downshift or consume less, especially at the holidays, one of the hardest things is gift giving, receiving and giving. So yeah, if you're concerned about the environment or financial constraints or anything like that, gift giving can be really hard because it's very hard not to do it.
And it's a bit of a layer cake because that's one stress point. Within that, you may be concerned about how much you're spending on people, if they're close to you, if not. How should we be thinking about how much we spend when it comes to gift giving? Well,
I think it's good to recognize that we tend to do a matching process, the relationship and the kind of gift. And if you mismatch it, it can feel really uncomfortable. And so that's one of the reasons why those important social relationships, it's hard not to give a gift. It may feel hard to give a small gift because you want to signal that it's an important relationship. All of these things are sort of unspoken, but they're part of our gift-giving culture. And so if you want to do something different, you probably have to say something or explain it or communicate to others what you're hoping for.
Have you heard any success stories when people do that? For example, if they decide we're not giving gifts, we're going to do something else, we're going to save for a trip. What works?
I think it would depend on the relationship. It depends, because it's not just about you, it's about the other party. I feel like I have a very hard time telling people who love giving gifts not to give gifts. And if you don't want gifts and you get them, it's always best to just be gracious and accept them.
Good advice. And has the cycle of, I guess we can call it fast-moving trends, changed the way we give gifts, do you think?
Well, I mean, it's hard for any of us to be outside of the kind of pressures to consume, the constant changing products that are offered to us. So I think that absolutely those are offered up to us as easy solutions to gift-giving conundrums where you're trying to figure out what to give someone. And I guess if you want to reduce how much you're spending or how much you're consuming, it's good to think of maybe non-material ways that you can show your appreciation for others.
The experience idea?
That's right. Like I was just talking with a friend who had been given a cooking class as a gift. I thought that was great. I'm also thinking of encouraging my kids to offer their time to people instead of getting them a thing, and think about how they would want to spend time with special people in their family.
And when it comes to money, because sometimes that's the default, any advice on that?
So I've actually been thinking about this, and often instead of giving money, we'll give things like gift cards, and sociologists call that special money, right? It's like separated from like regular money. But I'm like, I think we should be open to giving cash. I know when I was a kid, I would have preferred cash. And I think if it's given in the right way, and there's lots of cultures that have traditions of giving cash, most people, then they can spend the money how they want. So if there's a gracious way to do it, maybe a beautiful envelope or a really personal message, and then you can forgo all the plastic of the gift card or the constraints, and of course you lose the gift card or you don't use it all up.
There you go. UBC Professor Amy Hanser, we appreciate your time and your expertise. Thanks for joining us.
Of course.